You're someone who's stuck just trying to be able to get consistent payouts in trading, and that's exactly why you clicked this video. I used to be the exact same as you. I was stuck for a whole year binge watching YouTube videos, blowing accounts, and losing money until I stopped focusing on risk to reward and I fixed this one thing and it changed everything for me. And I know this is exactly what is holding you back from getting consistent payouts, but do not worry, by the end of this video, I will tell you exactly what it is and what to do instead. And you'll realize you've been doing it all wrong since day one. Let's start with what you've been taught, because I really want you to think about this. Almost every single piece of trading content you've consumed has probably came to the fact of you need to target at least a 1 to 3 risk to reward. This is something that so many people preach, and it means what? Oh, you target a 1 to 3 risk to reward, you only need to win 30% of the trades and you will be a profitable trader. Which, yeah, it makes sense on the surface, but now you're pulling up to the market every single day just looking for how much is this trade gonna make me? Is this trade a good enough risk to reward? And this is exactly what's breaking your trading. I really want you to look at this. This is what is fucking you up without you even realizing it. Because now that you're looking at the market based on risk to reward and based on outcome, you are looking at the market within a lens of what you want it to do and not what the market is actually going to do. If you really genuinely believe that every single day the market, you are going to find a trade that pushes exactly to your 3 risk to reward, you are completely delusional. And this is why you need to detach yourself from looking for risk to reward. This is the thing that is absolutely gutting your trading from the inside out, because once you are looking at it in the lens of what you want the market to do versus what the market is actually going to do, you are going to get destroyed, because the market does not care what you want. The market moves how the market moves. You end up seeing trades just like this. This is a 1.79 risk to reward that has a perfect target of an unfilled 15-minute gap. But what have you told yourself? You've told yourself that you only target 3 risk to reward trades. So what ends up happening? Either you don't see a target within your 3 risk to reward and you end up completely missing the entire trade and missing out on profit, or you enter, target your 3 risk to reward, and what ends up happening in the end? You just get stopped out. So now what have you done? You've turned a winning trade into a losing trade, or into a trade that you totally even missed. No matter what, it's a lose-lose. All because you were stuck on the fact of you needed to hit at least a 3 risk to reward in order for you to be satisfied on the day. Another example, a perfect setup, a 1.62 risk to reward. Hits absolutely perfectly, but what did you want? You wanted a 3 risk to reward. You wanted the market to push up to these highs, but that's not what happened. You ended up getting stopped out because you wanted to get that 3 risk to reward. You were so stuck on achieving the exact risk to reward. And you know that this is exactly what you do. You do this on a day in and day out basis where you end up targeting too much. And what happens trying to target a certain risk to reward? You take losses or you miss trades, and that ends up triggering over trading, and you start taking even worse setups trying to target an even more risk to reward over and over again. It's a loop that you do not want to fall in. You should never be pulling up to the market wondering how much risk to reward are you going to make today, or how much am I going to target today. That's where you're going wrong. So if risk to reward isn't what you should be focusing on, then what is it? Because I'm not telling you just to go out to the market and take random trades with no setup and no plan every single day. But there's something that traders who get consistent payouts are focused on instead. And once I show this to you, it is going to open your eyes and change the way you look at every single setup. Think about the last time you had a really good trading session, a day where everything just clicked. What were you actually focused on that day? Let that question just sit for a second, because I'd bet everything that day you weren't thinking about just risk to reward. You saw a trade, you took the trade, you took take profit, you got off, and then risk to reward was just the afterthought. Now think about your worst days. Think about the days that looked exactly like those examples I just showed you. What did you do? You were clearly thinking just on risk to reward. And this is what I want you to think about before I show you the actual fix to it, is that every consistent trader who gets those consistent payouts, they aren't focused on the outcome of the trades. They're focused on something that happens before the trade even exists. And that's what allows those traders to get those consistent payouts. So what is that one thing? What do the traders who get the consistent payouts actually focus on when they sit down to trade every day. You need to stop focusing on risk to reward and start focusing entirely, strictly on your entry model. That's it. That is the one thing that you need to put your main focus in, and I'm going to show you exactly why on the charts with real examples right now. So what does focusing on the entry model actually mean? It means before you even enter a trade, look to yourself. Is your confirmation there? Is your bias right? Is structure right? If all those are a yes, then bang, you enter no matter what. And if not, you don't enter and you let the trade go away. So right here on this example, this is a perfect example of my entry triggered right here. We had a sweep and we had a perfect 1 minute inverse fair value gap to the downside. That is my exact entry model, and that is what I look for every single day. And then this is the key. No matter where your entry is, the entry that your model gives you, you then, no matter what, are taking profit at the natural take profit and at the natural draw on liquidity there is. So with this trade and with this entry, there's a 15-minute fair value gap resting down here, and that is the next draw on liquidity. So I am going to target there and I'm going to make sure I take profit no matter what. What happens? That means we just ended up hitting a 2.29 risk to reward trade and we are off for the day and we got profits. But if you want to sit there and play around and try and get what you want and target your 3 risk to reward, what are you doing? You're just targeting deeper into a 15-minute fair value gap. And what would have happened? You would have either gotten stopped out at break even, or I know in the future this continued to run up and you would have gotten stopped out. Again, another example. My bias was right. My structure, everything checked out. What do? I see my inverse fair value gap. Enter no matter what. What is our draw? Our draw is this high that is resting in this 15-minute fair value gap, no matter what. So yes, it is only a 1.69 risk to reward, but what happens? We hit TP, we end the day green, life is good. We are stacking another win to add to a payout or to add to a past account. But you wanted to target your 3 risk to reward or your 2.5 risk to reward, and what happened? Comes down, stops you out at either break even or stops you fully out. And 1, you miss the win, you miss the trade, and 2, you probably are starting to overtrade and revenge trade now. And the thing is when you fully lock in and just focus on your entry model, what still happens? Bang, liquidity sweep, bias is right, everything is right, 1 minute inverse entry. Where is the next natural target? The next natural target is this London high that is looking to get ran. And what ends up happening? We catch a 4.25 risk to reward. So if this isn't a clear example of you can stick to the plan, stick to the model no matter what, stop caring about risk to reward, and you will still get trades that will cash you ginormous risk to rewards. Because even on the flip side of this, if you wanted to sit there and just target your 3 risk to reward, you would have missed out on the actual natural take profit, which is this London high, and you would have missed out on the 4.25 risk reward instead. So it goes both ways. You will start to see so much more consistency and so much more profits when you start to focus on the entry model and the normal take profit and not the risk to reward, because you will start to compound the 1.5 risk rewards, the 2 risk reward wins, the 3, 4, 5. You will start to compound win after win after win instead of taking losses when you're trying to target 3 risk to reward when you could have just cashed a 2 risk to reward. The consistency simply comes from this. Wake up, follow your plan, execute the model, take profit where you are supposed to take profit, and then get off. Wherever you take profit, wherever you're supposed to take profit, that's the risk to reward you catch on the day. Not the risk to reward that you want to catch, the risk to reward that the market gives you to catch. The risk to reward is simply just a byproduct of how good your entry was and where the market is telling you to put your target. Risk to reward was never supposed to be a filter in the market. Your entry model was. And once that clicks, that is when funded accounts get scary easy and stupidly simple, and that is when you start to have a good experience with them and start to see that consistency. What I just showed you of how we should actually be targeting our trades within the market is exactly how I run every single funded account that I trade. The entry model simply comes first, and that gives us then our TP, not the risk to reward. The entry model gives us our TP. And when you have a complete rule-based entry model that you trust and that you've built and that you execute the same way every single day, that is when the payouts will follow. And how to do the entire entry model of that is what I show on my second YouTube. But not just the entry model. We're talking daily bias, we're talking risk, we're talking confluences, everything, structure, all of it. The stuff that is going to get you not just passing evals, but actually being able to get those consistent payouts. So if you want that and you want to stop blowing account after account and you finally want to get those consistent payouts, just make sure you check out, I will put it in the link in the description below, to my second YouTube channel where I do so many full breakdowns, and it is the most valuable sauce there is probably on YouTube. So make sure you check it in the link in the description below. You do not want to miss out on free sauce. And once again, I hope you guys actually learned something from this video. I hope you can stop focusing so much on risk to reward and switch your focuses to the actual entry model you have at hand and allow the target to come to you instead of you creating the target. If you guys like this, please leave a comment and a like. If you could subscribe too, that would mean the absolute world to me. And once again, I will catch you boys later and trade safe.